Hey everybody, welcome. There's been some demand in the world to see what's up with the bots in Core Set 2021 drafting. So we are actually going to come in and do a quick draft here. And in no way did I just resign from an existing quick draft. That would be silly because that would be a waste of gems. But starting fresh on this new quick draft here, we're going to poke the bots and see what's up. Historically, what's happened with bots is they have failed to identify and adjust to kind of the best deck of the format, and then whatever the best deck is kind of what you want to lean into with the bots. So let me talk about bot drafting for a second, though, and whether or not you should even be here. One of the reasons I'm doing this video and throwing this up on YouTube is to see what kind of bot draft content my YouTube friends are interested in. And I got a comment recently from someone who was like, can you do more bot drafts? I bot draft because I can get more reps in. You know, I get to draft more often as because it only costs $750 to enter as opposed to the $1,500 of the other ones. I don't think I got a response back, but my question to that viewer was, are you playing in? Do you want to see quick drafts because you play exclusively in quick draft and therefore want to get better at navigating the bots and defeating the bots? Or are you saying that you just want to get better at Magic drafting in general and you do quick drafts because you can double your practice? There's a huge difference, because if you are an exclusive quick draft player and want to get good at quick draft specifically, then yes, what you want to do is watch, study, and play people doing bot drafts, because a huge part of it is understanding where the bots are at and understanding how to adjust your picks given what you know about the bots. However, if what you're in this for is to get better at Magic in general, to improve your draft overall, so that you can be better at Friday Night Magic, so you can be better playing against your friends, then I would strongly suggest that you don't study bot drafts, because it's going to be a little bit counterproductive in terms of where your growth could be. I mean, it's better than like taking out the garbage for getting your Magic skills up. But if you really want to get better at draft, you're going to be much better off studying 8 humans drafting together and studying the play results from that. But if you're into the bot draft and that's just where you play and it's what you want to study, then then this is what you need to understand. So anyway, I wanted to come in here and offer up a bot draft for YouTube. And I'm going to be looking at the YouTube numbers, and I'm going to be looking at the YouTube comments. So if this is actually the kind of thing you want to help with your bot draft game, I can do more of it. But this is somewhat of a test of the broadcast system to see what kind of interest level there is out there in quick draft. I know what the interest level is out there in cardkingdom.com, and it is high, because they are one of the premier places to get your physical stuff for your tabletop Magic game on the internet. Everything you need, you can get there, whether it's singles, supplies, or sealed product. Whatever you need to get your game where you want it to be, mostly they're going to have it there. And if they don't have it there right now, they'll probably have it there tomorrow, next week, whatever. They're always increasing their inventory and trying to provide you with everything you need for your Magic game. So I want you to check them out via my affiliate link. Looks like Hat has linked the affiliate link in the chat. And of course, YouTubers can check out my notes and see that affiliate link. Just keep them on your radar. If you ever need physical Magic stuff, give Card Kingdom a chance at your business, and if they ever earn it, you'll see why I continue to recommend them. Thanks, Card Kingdom. Let's draft. All right. One nice thing about bot draft: no clock. I'm gonna go take a nap, and then we'll come back and make pack one, pick one. Right? It's so unusual for me to not have a pick clock. But yes, we're looking at this Fetters. What I'm noting about this pack is that Fetters is far and away the best card. There's not much even close, like not even really close. Capture Sphere does a similar thing, I suppose, but this gains you life and gets any permanent. So Capture Sphere is somewhat in the vicinity, but Fetters gets everything. And there's nothing really else here. And the other thing I note is that there's only one red card in the pack, and it's not good. Like, this is actually a bad card in the format. at least I shouldn't say bad, narrow. It's a narrow card in the format and therefore not a priority. Like I can come up with decks that you'd want to use it, but not a lot of them. So my point is that I'm going to keep an eye on red, especially as I said, with bots, we want to leverage the fact that they're inevitably less up on what is best. And I think if you ask people what the top color in the format is, they'd say red. And if you said the top pair, it'd be like red, blue, red, white. So I love that we're starting with a white pick, and we see that red is underrepresented here, and it makes me want to try and lean red if the cards are there. Of course, destructive tampering, not a reason to lean red at all, so we're not going to do that. Dryad has been pretty good, but I don't know if it's a pick 2 situation. Scanner keeps us open if we wanted to take Scanner. And Arcanist to cut blue. Nah, this is not good enough. Yeah, an uncommon is missing. What do we think is gone? Any thoughts? I don't know. The rare is playable in this format. A 1/1 lifelink vigilance for 1 is playable if you're hyper aggro. The I think creating a 4/4 vigilant angel or 4/4 angel is pretty unlikely, but I think it's just Scanner. Pocket Nebula likes Dryad. I think it's Dryad or Scanner, but I haven't been I haven't been very happy with Dryad. Do you all like Dryad? Or Adept? You just want to take the Adept and match the Fetters? I haven't been very impressed with this either, is the thing. I Drink says force green white if you want to go 3-0. All right, well, let's go Dryad or Falconer then, and I'll see what chat wants to do. And follow chat down. Poll 30, Dryad, Adept. You tell me. Dryad is incredible if you get it on turn 2 and just throw out a bunch of other stuff after that, but Adept is probably the more stable choice. Like, it is what it is. It does what it does. Dryad's a 2. We all know how valuable it is to get down on 2 in this format. All right, I'm in. Got a Warden to follow that's not bad at all with these 2 starting. Ghostlight is kind of my number 2. Vessel is okay, but it's in black. I don't want to be there, especially against bots. Again, we're going to lean into what we know to be good in the format. I think that's a strong thing to do in bot land. And this is very good, so let's take it. I don't usually prioritize 6s, but this is a fine 6. And I'm liking a Palladium Mirror here, especially with the 6. Getting this out on 4 would be incredible. And at what cost? There's not even much cost here. Keeps us open. This is very splashable, if that comes to it. Twin Blade Assassins could point us towards that. But we have a Swooper, but we just want a Pride Malkin. This is going up and up and up, you know. I think I'll take the cheaper card in our more core color at this point than the Swoop. Savior is a nice pickup here. Unsubstantiate, also good. Shieldmate, surprisingly playable. But Savior Doggy is where it's at, man. Well, we took a Dryad over an Adept in pick 2 or so. There's a Snare Spinner here, which is decent, but we're going to take an Adept here. Yeah, well, live drafting, Shade John says, honestly, live drafting is more surprising than bot drafting. Well, exactly. Like, bots are so rigid that they stop being surprising, right? Yeah, I think we just take a big Dreadmaw here over, like, a Legion's Judgment. We're best of 1, or I would like the Judgment. Fierce Empath. Fetching the Warden. This is a little clunky. The 1/1 doesn't do much. the land is good, but do like, I mean, Warden is good enough that I would play the Empath. Con Mage doesn't like, yeah, a lot of people dislike the Empath. I don't know. I think people are too harsh on this. Like, it depends on the sixes. It depends on the sixes. I know the community is pretty down on this, and I got to be very careful about how I defend it, because like Luis and Marshall say, you start defending a card that the community is down on, and people start thinking you're calling it a B+ or something. I'm not calling it a B+. I'm saying a second copy of Warden of the Woods doesn't suck. A second copy of Massacre Worm, doesn't suck. There are places to run it, and while a 1/1 body left behind is pretty underwhelming, sometimes when your opponent is beating down with 3 1s for 2, etc., you are just happy to have a speed bump that can sometimes pick off an opponent's attackers. And in best of 3, if you know you're in a grindy long game matchup, this becomes a lot better. Anyway, just wanted to give you reasons you could be taking and playing this card. In this case, I don't like, we were just talking about Sniper. We had Sniper in our last draft, and it was best of 3 even. Here's why Sniper isn't good, or an example of where this is suffering. We drafted Sniper in best of 3, had it in our sideboard against 2 opponents who were playing blue-white flyers. We played 2 blue-white flyer decks and did not bring in our Skyway Sniper. Now, granted, we had other tools to manage flyers. We had Run Afoul and 2 of those Turret Ogres. So, we had some tools, but the point is it wasn't even good enough against Sky's decks. So I just don't think Sniper is going to ever really be where you want to be, unless I guess you're trying to curve out into, you need all the ones you can get for the 4 Acolytes you got or something, the Acolytes. Anyway, we'll take the Blossoming Sands. Casting spells is great. Track down is good. None of this really matters. I'll take a Silent Dart. I don't think we're going to back into this. I guess I'll take this in case somehow the pod tells us we're actually going to reanimate some stuff or something. Yeah, if you draw your Warden, but see, the point is, like, if you have the search for your Warden, like, if you're like, yeah, but then if I draw my Warden, I only get a Dreadmaw out of it. Hey, then you've drawn your Warden. Like, where like, it's nice to have 2 copies of Warden, effectively. Should you leave cards to direct bot decisions? In the first 5 or 6 picks, yes, Haj, but after that, they're going to settle into their colors, and all of your signaling is going to be on deaf bot ears. Hunter's Edge. Probably Mr. Slayton's pick. Liliana Standard Bearer, not good enough. Soul Seer on the splash wouldn't be the worst, but nothing's worth taking over the edge here. Let's take the hedge. Fungal Rebirth is all right, but I like the edge better. Coatl on the splash could be interesting, depending on what else is being floated here. Boy, this is a lousy pack. Nice, Hunter. I mean, you're kind of required to, right? Marshall should make a deck with nothing but Marshals, and you should make a deck with nothing but Hunters, and we can have the Hunters versus Marshals dual decks. Mutt or Guile has been suggested. I'm not running Mutt. Guile, I'll pick one up later. I'd rather hedge. If we pick up a random couple of blue tap lands, I'll run this. Or some ways to search it up, for example. But we just want Pteranodon here. I'm not going to be cute about it. Cultivate would be playable, but Pteranodon is what we're on. Avenger. We get pushed back into red. Battlements is like never going to be a thing. I think we probably just want the kitty or the sage. Yeah, we can run the kitty. Ford, can we ever truly have a great green-black deck? Truly. Sorry, Swooper, clearly. Track down, Battalion, Pegasus. Let's look at curve for this one. Yeah, we're low in both, so let's take the Pegasus, get lower. Feat of Resistance is nice to see here. We'll pick that up over the Charger. Not enough flyers to make me want the Enforcer. We'll just take the old Truffle Shuffle. Can't get that. There we go. Chorister, fine. Sure wouldn't mind if some of them Acolytes want to show up in pack 3. That's what this deck needs, is just replace some of these 4s with 2-3 Lifelinkers. Yep, we'll take the potential splash. I'm not playing that mutt. None of those 5-drops are making the deck. Vine might, but probably just want a Defiant Strike. It's a temporary Pteranodon activation and cycles. So does Portcullis Vine, but this does it cheaper. I like Guile, but I like 1. I mean, what did I take over Guile? There was something else that I was, you know. Yeah, I like Blossoming Sands over the Guile still. We'll get a Guile. And if I end up with 0, you can live without him. Yeah, Strike is good with Dryad at instant speed too. Maybe we run that. I'm more enamored with these when we get those Acolytes that I'm calling for. Well, all right. Those of you who wanted the black deck would have had a really nice one. We're okay, though. Invigorating Surge or Pride Malkin number, what, 2? Tutelage abort plan. No, I think we're gonna let go of the tutelage. I kind of like the creature over the Surge, given our current lack of depth at 2 and 3. Surge doesn't need much to be fine. I mean, Surge with no other +1/+1 counter effects in your deck is 3 mana, put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature at instant speed. I mean, that's good, right? That's a fine combat trick without it. But we'll start here. I want more creatures right now before we get into the tricks. Ugh. Lot of stuff in our colors, not much I like. Replicator can find right now just Pride Malkin, not good enough. Battalion, I guess. Dragonfire on the possible splash. We've got, I should bring in this Highlands to remind that. I don't think we are ever having the flyer to do this. Battlement doesn't let Drowsy attack because it doesn't get +1/+0 until it attacks, and so it can't attack to get the +1. But I'm going to take the Dragonfire on simply opportunity cost. There's nothing very essential to our deck here, so I'm going to spec. Speaking of spec, we have another Coatl, and we could spec there, looking for a Thornwood on the return. We got to secure the scene. Boy, maybe we're fading away towards Red? I don't know. Hodge likes the replicator. I'm still off it, so I don't know. Maybe I'm just too off of the replicator. I don't like anything here. I'm going to take Coatl, I think. Man, we are far off from making any of the splashing happen, though, is the problem. But if we're leaving white, do we have a realistic destination from white? I mean, let's take a look at that for a second. One nice thing about bot drafting is that there is no pick clock. We can be a little bit more circumspect when the situation calls for it. So just to see what it looks like here, and of course we can splash the fetters or whatever. What does a no white deck even look like for us right now? We have 14. It's going to be hard to get to playables, honestly. I don't think we can get to playables without white. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Like, we need a lot of playables coming up. It's not impossible. That's true. If you want to look at... Well, Miscast isn't playable. And Megalodon technically is, I suppose. That's one extra playable. Yeah, really, this is coming down to whether or not we can spec on... Whether it's worth even bothering to spec on a Coatl. Because are we going to play it unless we're blue main? And are we going to find splash? But again, the only cost is the secure, really. So I'm going to be greedy. But then we're pulled back. We've got feet. We've got solidarity even. Probably just want solidarity here. And yeah, I don't mind specking on those Coatls, but now we're being pulled back to where we were. We could take the Windscarred Crag. What else do we have to splash red? Yeah, with Highlands plus Crag means we could splash Dragonfire, potentially Avenger. Do we even want to? Again, opportunity cost says take the land here. There's not, we're not giving up much. A Sage, whatever. Splash it all? Play this and double splash? Nah, probably not double splashing. Just take the Dreadmaw here. And are we happy with 3 6s? Do we need 3 6s? With Palladium Mirror, I don't mind it. We didn't end up with any elves. Some of those mana elves would be nice here. I'll take a Dreadmaw over Cove. Well, here's a double splash land. And a splash meteorite, though. I don't know why I want to splash, though. I mean, it's not that good. This is not good outside of turn... Like, you really want this on 3. And Dragonfire is fine, but I don't need to be, like, super psyched about this. Probably just want a Pegasus, right? Pegasus for the 2s. We're still... Oh, I cut all the white, but of course we know we have some 2s. I think Peggy's right. I'll grab a Swooper here, though. Strong enough. Mutt, unlikely to make the cut. Throw that in the board. 1 Legion's Judgment is generally defensible in a best of 1 scenario. But we could also just get a battalion and make sure we're hitting the board on 3 the way we want to, especially cutting these Coatls. We don't quite have as much going on here as I'd like. I know we have, again, let's see, what do we have? Maybe we should put this stuff back so we really know where we're at. Feel like we're stacked at 4, but a little light elsewhere. Yeah, we're still light at 3, even putting the white back, so I'm going to take a battalion. And might even play this Battlements, given our lightness at 3. Yeah, I know I'm not sorted. But I didn't add any 3s. Like, when I added stuff in, I didn't see us adding any 3s. Did I add 3s I'm not aware of? Yeah, we're not sorted right, but we didn't get any extra 3s, so whatever. Thanks, Tron. I guess we can leave that for consideration. Forster, get back in. Sands. I think we just cut all splashing from this. Maybe 2 big creatures on the top end. Cut a track down, a shield mate. 19-6. Kind of want just to bail on another shield mate. Really? Cut Falconer? I mean, I guess we don't have incredible tools to support it. We've got Feet, we've got Savior, we've got Hunter's Edge, we've got Swooper. I got a couple Swoopers. I like the Adept. I'm going to keep the Adept. I think we find, like, Battlements is going to be worse. Oh, yeah, Battlements does do a decent job with it. That's a fair point. What are some nominations to cut? Final cut. I'm going to poll it. 45 seconds. I think I actually can use it. I'm going to do a poll for their final cut, take a quick bio break, come on back, and then battle. So give me some... So there's some suggestions. We've got the 4-drop Cat. I'll put Cat for that. Sure Strike for one of the Sure Strikes. Cat, Sure Strike, Battlements. And Adept was called. Oh, Defiant Strike. Thank you. Sorry. You know, I'm just gonna call it Strike anyway. We'll call it Strike. Mauler was another suggestion. Okay, so no, but that's what I called Cat, right? So probably is just Strike. The reason to keep the Defiant Strikes is that they flow through our deck. They work really well with the Dryads. They work pretty well with the Pteranodons. That's what I like about the Defiant Strikes, is that they're like running a 38-card deck with a little bit of upside, and that can be more exciting than some of the other cuts we're talking about. That being said, but it's not a bad card, Haj. I mean, it doesn't have the ability to cycle on turn 1, but this is not a bad card, right? Anyway, I'm going to offer you this poll, though. Cat, Strike, well, if I use the word bad, then I was overstating it. I mean, this is not a prized card. This is not a high priority, but it's got such a reasonable floor, it's hard to call this bad. So if Ryan of 2 hours ago called this card bad, I disagree with that, Ryan. This Ryan thinks it's perfectly acceptable, but it's not. In this case, it's doing some stuff. Anyway, I'm going to give you a quick poll, and I'll be right back. Tell me what we're doing. What are we taking out? Hey, gang. Looks like people don't like the kitty. All right, I'm in. There was a suggestion that this could be a 16 lander. We are in best of one, which means you get the algorithm smoothing a bit. For me, I still want to cast these on time. I still want to get to land 6 ASAP. So for me, that makes me want to run the full 17. If we didn't have any 6 drops, I'd absolutely be in for it. Like, where I'm willing to shave, like in a paper game where I was like topping out with like 3 or 4 5 drops in a more typically looking curved deck. In paper, that's where I would do 17, but on Arena Best of 1, I might do 16. That's where I shave a little bit. Other people shave a lot harder than I do in response to the hand smoothing algorithm in Best of 1, but that's where I'm at on it. I don't bother. If I got high end, I don't shave, and if I've got no high end, then I start shaving at about the 5 level, whereas in paper I would do it a little earlier. Anyway, this is going to be a quick bot check. Yeah, Keller, you're not wrong. Like we've got 2 Defiant Strikes, reducing our deck size to a virtual 38 with any creature out. We've got Palladium Mirror adding to our ability to make mana. So the 2 Defiant Strikes and the Palladium Mirror and the smoothing algorithm say that you could do 16 here. I'm going to stick to 17 so we get these out on time. And I'm going to run it. Looks keepable. Don't have a 2, but I'm keeping. I should do this now, because I am going to cycle. Nothing for turn 2, unfortunately, but starting at 3, we look to be pretty good. We can go Palladium Mirror. If it lives, we get to double spell. Palladium Mirror on turn 3 against red is a little uncomfortable because you can absolutely get shocked here, but we don't have a play that doesn't get shocked other than the battlements, and that doesn't seem worth it. I'm not going to play battlements just out of fear of shock, so we're going to play the Palladium Mirror. Cross our fingers. If we untap with this, great, we got 6 mana, we can double spell. If we don't, well, Fetters is going to help keep us alive at least. Yes, I think I did cut the dwarf because we didn't end up with any acolytes. Curving out from 1 isn't like a huge priority in this deck, and we still do have a couple of good ones. And we did untap with 6 mana, so that's nice. We're going to go Battalion Pride Malkin. And where are we putting... Wow, look at that. Look at what it wants to do. Look at the auto-tapper. I guess it's never going to auto-tap our mirror for us. That's fair. Battalion Pride Malkin? Yeah, let's do that. Pride Malkin can even counter itself, I think. Or do I get the... Yeah. Pride Malkin's going to counter itself here. Mirror might be... We might want the mirror to tap for more... Yeah, I guess if we put it here... What I was thinking of is that when we attack, we get to spread our stuff out more. But I guess if we put it on the battalion, we technically have blocks. The thing is, I bet they attack anyway, and I bet we don't block. Like, that's what I'm thinking. It's like, yeah, I guess we're not attacking. I guess we have to block. All right, Haj, you got me. Let's put it here and block. And at least we can threaten Malkin on Chorister for the trade. And like Malkin can still threaten to trade with either one of these, and then Battalion threatens to eat. So they got to show us. They got to attack. And of course, Chorister here. All right. Looks like stable, question mark. Probably going to fetters the Devils. They might have sacrificing that could still make that deal 3. But overall, I think we're probably getting a good result here. Could even go ahead and fetters the Devils, send everything, and then let them block as they will. Or we can just fetters battlement. Well, I'm going to start with fetters. See what that looks like. And now here's the decision point, because we can play battlements and even get in with a battalion, and they probably don't block. And if they come back, we can send just the battalion. And then if they send the chorister, we can double block and say, what do you want to do? Or at that point, though, I should just play the battlements. And we're at 15 now. I'm even willing to take a hit from the chorister. I'm going to go battlements. Swing battalion. We got ourselves to enough of a life total where I think we can threaten some kind of race. And if they send the chorister, we let it happen. And if they want to use their turn on pump, that's not ideal, but yeah, we'll see. We might not. This might be the last time we swing here, but I wanted to see what they're going to do this turn. They're not even. See, yeah, they want to follow up play anyway. All right, mana, not exactly what we were looking for. What does an all-out attack look like here? They're still at 21. We swing out, we get a 2-1, a 5-4, and a 2-2. No, sorry, they all get... So a 3-1, a 3-2, and a 6-4. Three, 3, 6, 12. But is that enough? Like, is that... Because they could just take it and then come back the other way is my worry. But if we just sit back and wait for them to attack us, I'm also wondering how we win. Of course, they don't have great attacks right now, so I guess I play the forest and hold. Because, yeah, the trouble is we don't threaten enough damage yet to make them just not take that. Like, I give our Oppo enough credit to just take our attack. Well, here's the swooper I was talking about working with the Adept, and here it is. Here it is doing what I wanted it to do for us. Well, we can play the chorister and actually have double pump. That feels pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, not yet. We untap and we'll have double pump. Yes, I did update the banner. We're good. This is... We tried a quick draft and we're giving it a play or two, and then I actually promised some monster train. So probably just going to do the one game here and then go to monster train. But yeah, we have a double pump on chorister, so we at least get to gain 7, right? Yikes! Double pump on the chorister might not matter against this Hellkite Punisher. Not often you see Magic formats where it's correct to have in limited a 1-drop and a 7-drop, but in this case, works out. Let's see, what do we have for this? Really what we had was the face fetters, which is now gone, so anyway. Swooper is interesting, but really we just want the double pumped chorister as opposed to swooping. And I think we're still close to just dead anyway, but I think all we got is send in for a bunch of lifelink. We don't even quite have enough, right? Oh, no, we do. We do have exactly 10. We might still be dead. Math is for people who might have a chance at winning, I guess. It's fine, Reets. Reets is... First is not one rule. We have Hunter's Edge, and we have... where is it? The one we already used, the Faith. So it has 2 plus Feat of Resistance, which is axe-like removal in that context. I think we can safely give this one up, though. Well, maybe we're not dead, right? I don't know. Let's give it a try, I guess. Got to get rid of this Bolt Hound so it doesn't destroy us, and then we'll chump the biggest thing. Or just here, do this. Yeah, again, I'm not doing the math. I'm just letting them figure it out. I let Oppo do the math. Yeah, that was whatever. You know, our deck is all right. Their deck is all right, and their deck got there, and ours didn't. All right, YouTube friends, I am going to call that a draft. Really, we wanted to see more. This was about looking at if we noticed anything the bots were passing or anything in our face about the way bots were drafting to take note of. And I didn't see anything super telling in that one effort. I mean, sample size, right? It's just a data point anyway. But if you are, again, I want to just go back and say, if your goals in Magic are to get good at limited overall, I would not focus on quick draft either in my play or my study. I would focus on human drafting. That's going to give you the most improvement long term, and especially even in the short term of understanding a given format. It's just the meta game of both draft and play is a lot different in bot draft than it is in human draft, and that's just the way of it. So make sure you understand that when you are picking what to study, and we'll catch you later. I should have been doing this in Soapbox, but we'll catch you later, YouTube. Thanks for hanging out for that one. Suppose I'd say it's possible that we would finish this one out, but really unlikely. This whole thing ends in less than 24 hours. I'll probably jam through it real quick off the air or something, or maybe just let it lapse. It was really just an experiment anyway on our side account. So no biggie either way. Thanks for hanging. We'll see you.